you quit your job to go through this process? The answer is no. Please, like I said earlier, do not quit your job. Normally what happens is this: if we think you're suitable, we will allow you to get your work experience on your off days first. That means if you're off on a Sunday, we ask you to come down on a Sunday to get the experience at the hotel. If you're off on a Saturday, we invite you on Saturday. And then for your study, right, I'm sure all of you know, if you want to get an international diploma, you normally need to study on the weekdays as well, right? You've got to go down to the university and so on. But because all of you are working, we will normally allow you to follow the classes, some of them online. That means after your work, you join the class in Zoom like now, or you follow the classes in your learning account, which is recorded. So normally we will give you options to complete your study while you're working. And then once you complete the study and you completed the training in the hotel, the work experience, then we advise you, okay, it is now time to quit your job and join the hotel full-time, So it's a step-by-step process. So please do not suddenly quit after tonight, because tonight is not the interview. Coming tonight is just a briefing. You still need to come for the interview at one of the hotels or one of the government buildings, and one of us, including our managers and directors, we will need to see you, talk to you, find out about your details, and then if we think you're suitable, then we send you an offer. Everyone clear?
Yes.
All right, very nice. Okay, thank you for that. Now, a few more things before I get started. Number one, my briefing will be done in English, so I hope everybody will be able to understand what I'm saying. Of course, later on, if you don't understand, let me know. So tonight, I'll be covering a few things. Number one, I will share my slides to explain to all of you the process and the requirements. Number two, we will do a Q&A. So if anybody has questions later on, I will give you a chance to ask your questions. You can just raise your hand later and you can ask. Don't be shy. Tonight is a briefing. I will try to answer as many questions as possible. And then finally, later on, I will show all of you a sample of the international diploma so that you get a chance to see the diploma, you know how it looks like, and you know what it's about. Everyone clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Now, again, for those of you who have your video on, thank you. I get a chance to recognize your face. Hopefully, when you come down and see me, I will recognize you. Yeah. Don't be surprised if you come down and realize that, we have a bunch of us with all my directors there as well. Yeah. Because I'm traveling to almost 50 cities. Every week I fly to one of our hotels. So normally I'll try to rotate across different places and I get a chance to see all of you. Yeah. And, like I said, if you can convince me or the rest of managers that you are very motivated, we will want to give you a chance as far as possible. Yeah. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Give me 1 minute. Okay, can everybody see my screen? If you can see my screen, just help me to put your thumb up. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And I see I get some audio response as well. Okay, that's good. So at least everybody can hear me. Okay, so let's get started with the process. Now, first thing is the scholarship program process, right? Can everybody help me to screenshot the process? Just do a quick screenshot on your phone, or if you're using a computer, you can screenshot it so you have a copy of this. Now, as you can see, okay, thank you. There are 7 steps, and it's a very straightforward process. Tonight is step 1. And tonight is a briefing. We want to try to get all the details very clear so that you understand what's happening, you know which hotels, you know how the process works, and you know what we are looking for so that it's easy for you to prepare. Yeah, and we do the briefing online to make it easy for all of you to attend the briefing first before you come down for interview. Now, step 2 is the interview. Interviews will be done face-to-face in person. Yeah, and interviews are not in a group. It is normally in an individual setting, one-to-one, you come down, you sit down, and during the interview, we get a chance to get to know you better. So we will talk to you, ask you questions about your career, ask you questions about what you were doing previously, and we want to find out why do you want to apply for this career scholarship? Why do you like the hotel? Which department are you interested in? These are things we will talk to you about. And then after the interview, if we think you're suitable, we will send you an offer to say, okay, we're willing to give you the career scholarship, and we can allow you to join and come to do the study and also get the work experience at the hotel. And so that's step 3. Now, once you go through the process and you've completed your training at the hotel, you've got your work experience, you've got your study, you've got your international diploma, then finally we come to step 7, which is our career office will say, okay, it is time for you to join one of our projects, join one of our departments. Give me 1 minute, I hear some sounds. Mr. Aris, can you please help to mute everybody? Okay, everyone clear so far? So to repeat what I was saying on step 7, at step 7, that's where our career office steps in, and we think that, okay, you're ready, and then we advise you on the next step, okay, which department, what are the relevant visa requirements, how to apply, and then you go through that process. And then finally, hopefully you jump over and join one of our departments. Yeah, and of course, if you have a preference, like a certain department you're very interested in, or a certain city that you're interested in, you can also let us know, so that we can advise you accordingly what are the opportunities. Because I have candidates who went over to Turkey, I have candidates who went over to Austria, I have some candidates who went over to different parts, Hong Kong, Singapore, and so on, right? And so if you have a preference, you can also inform us during the interview. So at least we can take note and then we can advise on the relevant opportunities available. Okay, now for step 2, which is the interview, I think it's important to understand what are the requirements, what must you prepare, right? And so let's talk a bit about the interview checklist. Can everybody screenshot the interview checklist? Do a quick screenshot, and then I'm going to explain. Everybody got it?
Done. Not yet.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, done.
Thank you. Now, let me go through the items. Now, item number 1 is very simple, right? Basic resume. Now, why do we need the resume? Now, we need the resume because we want to understand your background. We want to know what you were doing in the past 5-6 years, And as I said earlier, you do not need to work in the hotel to apply, right? As long as you're working, could be anything. Maybe you're working as a housekeeper, working in a factory, working in 7-Eleven, whatever job you're doing, doesn't matter, but we want to know, right? We want to know what were you doing. Why? Because then it's easy for us to consider your application. Then it's easy for us to know that, okay, how are we going to train you? And so it's important that we have a basic resume. Now, if you don't know how to make a resume, very simple. You can send us a WhatsApp message, and in the message, you can put there, what year to what year, what were you doing? What year to what year, what were you doing? So as an example, right, I can say 2010 to 2015, I was working in a factory. 2015 to 2020, I was working as a housekeeper. Whatever it is, right? Simple message, send it to us on the WhatsApp, so at least we know your background. So that's item number 1. Item number 2 is any type of certificates. Now, we are aware that many of you have different certificates. Some of you have training certificates. Give me a minute. Okay, so as I was saying, some of you have training certificates, some of you have diplomas, some of you have certificates back from home, some of you have a high school diploma. Now, whatever certificates that you have, you can make a copy, screenshot it, send it over to us on the WhatsApp so that we can put all of it together with your application. If you do not have certificates, don't panic. Just inform us on the WhatsApp, tell us, okay, sorry, I don't have any certificates, and tell us the reason. Maybe you didn't get a chance to finish, or maybe you started working at a very young age, or you lost it. Whatever the reason, inform us. We will still consider your application. Now, item number 3 is for verification, right? At the end of the day, you're going to be coming down for a face-to-face interview, either at the government building or over at the hotel. And so you need to come through the security, right, in the front office. And they need to know who you are. They need to know where you're going. And so normally we need a front copy of either your ID card or your passport. The main reason is we need your name and your photo, so that when you come down, we know who you are and we can advise you on where to go for your interview. Yeah. So the most important is you can just screenshot your name and your photo on your ID card or your passport, so that when we slot your interview, we know who you are. Yeah. Mr. Haris, can you please do the relevant? Okay. Now, going to item number 4. Yeah, item number 4 is not a payment. It is a security deposit. How does it work? Very simple. You do not need to send this to us. So item 1, 2, and 3, you can send us a soft copy to the WhatsApp. Item number 4, you do not need to send it to us. What you do is very simple. You just need to bring the deposit to your interview. And if your application is approved, can process, we collect the security deposit. If it cannot be processed or cannot be approved, or your interview is not passed, we do not collect the deposit. Yeah. Now, if for any reason your application is rejected, we also do not collect the security deposit. The security deposit is only there if your interview pass is approved, then we collect it to ensure that all your documents are in order. That's all. Yeah. So you do not need to pay anything to come for interview if your interview doesn't go through, or it fails. But I must remind everyone, and this is something that sometimes people forget. You must come down to your interview with the security deposit. If you come to the interview without the security deposit, your interview will not be considered. And the reason is very simple, to prevent cases where people are coming down using fake details, or people are coming down using someone else's name. All that is mainly for security. But we will not collect it. We just want to make sure that that is you. Because it is, at the end of the day, a government-registered application, and it is with the hotel, right? So we need to confirm that you are a legitimate application. Yeah? Okay. Now, I'm going to stop the screen share for a minute. Yeah. Mr. Haris, please help to ensure that everything is in order. Yeah. Okay. Now, I think now is the time for me to take some questions. So if anyone has a question, wave your hand at the screen and I will take questions, especially those who have your video on. I hope tonight I will get a chance to remember who you are, because that will make it easier for you to pass the interview. Yeah. So those of you who have your video on, good news is the briefing is recorded. You will have a chance to remember who you came for the briefing, and when you come down for interview, we will recognize who you are. Now, who has a question? Just wave your hand at the screen. Ria. Yes, Ria, please unmute. I got two Ria, so the first Ria and then the second Ria next. Yes, Ria, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. May I ask if, just in case, if we, for example, we pass the interview or something like that, because I came here in Hong Kong, the reason why I hesitate to apply international because of my tattoo. So we know that some company or hotels don't accept applicants that have tattoos. So I just know if they accept.
Okay, so I think understand. So Ria, to answer your question, right, the good news is in most cases, international hospitality, a lot of companies actually they don't bother about the tattoo. In fact, for us, we don't really consider tattoo unless the tattoo is on your face. If the tattoo is a face tattoo, then it'll be difficult. Because when you come for interview, right, straight away we become a bit concerned, you know. But if it is a tattoo on your hand, on your back, on your leg, you know, something that is not so visible, should be fine. Yeah, should be fine. And in fact, I strongly encourage, right, if you have a small tattoo, one way is just wear a long sleeve, should be fine. We are not going to judge the tattoo. I think it's all right, but you should wear a long sleeve. Yeah? So Ria, I think to make it easy for you, if you wear a long sleeve, we will not ask for your tattoo. You know, preferably do not purposely keep showing your tattoo at the interview like that, and all that. You know, because then obviously it's going to be a bit funny, right? And then of course, don't have any tattoos on your forehead, on your nose and all that, because we have had cases like that, and that's a bit tough. Because anything that is too obvious to a guest, too obvious to a customer, that one becomes a bit difficult, right? But if it's in your hand, on your leg, on your back, something that's easily covered when you wear the hospitality jacket or when you wear the work shirt, I think it's fine. Okay? I hope that answers your question, Ria.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Let me mute you and lower your hand. Now, going to the next Ria. Yes, sorry, both of you had the same name. Yes, Ria, go ahead. Yes, Ria, go ahead. Hey, where did the Ria go? Yeah, Ria, you need to unmute yourself. Please press unmute.
Hi.
Sir, may I know if ever from the first interview until the last process, how long does it take possible if everything goes well?
Okay, so if everything goes... Okay, so normally, right, in order to get an international diploma, right, because you need the international diploma to process your visa, and to do that, you need 72 international credits. So normally, the minimum requirement to get the 72 international credits is 12 months. So normally, the process, if all goes well, it should be within 12 months. That means once you complete in 12 months, at the end of the 12 months, we should be able to advise you on the next step. You know, which department, which hotel, and so on. Yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Ria. Normally, it's about 12 months.
Oh, okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me mute you. And for those who are wondering, right, anything less than 12 months will not be recognized when you apply for any government applications. That means if, let's say, you're applying in a country like Hong Kong or Singapore or Canada or Australia, right, the first thing they will ask is, do you have an international qualification? You know, and international means minimum 12 months. If it's 3 months, 6 months, 7 months, not recognized. It will not be in the government system. And later, I'll show all of you a sample. Okay, good question. Thank you, Ria. Any other questions? Wave your hand at the screen.
Hello? Hello?
Yes, Tin Myo, go ahead.
Yeah. Now I work in the Singapore and job in the house bar. Yeah.
Okay.
That I know the English speaking.
Okay. Okay, what's your question?
Yeah, some more. Yes, somehow I'm 38 year already, 38 old year already.
Okay. So
I can find the hotel restaurant.
So Tin Myo, I'm not sure whether I get your question, but to answer your question based on what you asked, yeah, if asking can you, we can consider your application based on your age. You're still alright. 30 plus is still okay. And like I said, if your English is basic but you understand what I'm saying, then you can apply.
Yeah.
But for those of you who cannot understand what I'm saying, then a bit tough. Yeah. So most important is ability to understand. Because as long as you can understand the basic communication, we can train you. Right? We can train you. But if you cannot understand what I'm saying, then of course hard to train. Yeah, but don't worry, Tinyo, based on what you told me, yes, you can apply. Yeah, and I think we will assist you more when you come down. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Tinmyo. Let me mute you now. Since Tinmyo, you brought up your age, and this is my advice to everybody as well. If you are in your 30s, 40s, early 50s, you can still apply. But once you hit 60s, a bit tough. Because at that age, I'm sure all of you know, right? Normally it's quite tough and there's not enough time and we don't want to waste your time and resources. So as long as you're below the retirement, 30s, 40s, early 50s, we can still consider. Yeah, so from what I can see, most of you here are in that range, so I think it should be fine. But if ever anybody here is like 65, 66, a bit tough, I may not be able to consider your application. Yeah, but if you're below that, I think you should be fine. And then going to language, as long as you can understand what I'm saying now, apply. But if I talk and you have no idea what I'm saying, I sound like an alien, or worse, you don't know what I'm saying right now, then a bit tough. Yeah, because it's hard for us to train you in the hotel, or hard for you to go and do the work experience, you don't understand, right? Because then when the guests see you, you also don't know what they're saying. So you don't need to be good at talking, but you should at least be able to listen, right? You can listen, should be all right. We can train you. Yeah? Okay. Any other questions?
Excuse me, sir.
Where are you, Nana?
I'm here.
I don't. Nana, you may need to switch on your video. I can't see you.
Oh, okay. But I'm shy.
You're shy.
But Nana, this is hospitality, yeah, hotel. So you need to be able to show yourself if you want to apply.
Okay. No, sir.
Sure? Okay, but what's your question, Nana?
I want to ask because I here in Singapore. I mean, like I'm helper here, right? So I can agree on to this job.
Okay, Nana, first thing is this, yeah? Everybody wants to apply for a job, right? Everybody. Yeah? But right now, the problem is not whether you can get a job or not, yeah? Right now, is where we consider you for the career scholarship first, because you need to get the experience in the hotel. That's number one. So, Nana, the first thing I'll advise you is if you are really interested to upgrade and get a chance, you got to come for your interview and we will consider your application. And then, let's say during interview, we think, okay, you're suitable, we can put you for the work experience in the hotel, then yes, you have a chance to work. But if you don't do all that, then very tough, right? Because 5-star hotel is not so.
I need to go that via that.
Xiaomi. Okay, so Xiaomi, I'm not sure your name, so I'm going to call you Xiaomi for now. But I think the question is a very good one, and I always advise everyone this, right? If you already have experience, you don't need my help, right? That's the truth. For anybody here, if you already have experience in a 5-star hotel, then you don't need my help. You can apply direct, and I can consider you directly through HR. But if you want to apply through the scholarship route, then you have to go through the process. Because hotel got two process. One is you apply to HR. When you apply to HR, they will still contact me, and I will still look at it through HR. But if you apply through career scholarship, then we will make it easier for you, but you need to go through the career scholarship process. Make sense to everyone? So normally we always tell everyone, there's always two ways, right? You can follow the regular way. That means you apply direct to the HR and they will ask me, and then I will interview you as HR. Or you can apply as a career scholarship and I interview you as career scholarship. And the expectation is different. If you apply HR, I can do it, but my requirement is very high, right? Because you are applying direct. If you apply through career scholarship, I will be a bit more lenient, like I said earlier, right? Even you got no experience, I can still consider. But I will expect that you show me you're very motivated, disciplined, and you are willing to train and get experience in one of our hotels. So it depends on each of you, whether you think that, wow, I'm so good, no need to do that, I can go direct. Right? But the same thing will happen. You will still see me. You either see me as HR or you will see me as career scholarship. But trust me, if you see me as HR, it's going to be a lot more difficult because my requirement is a lot higher. Right? Make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you, Xiang. Let me mute you. And I think this is advice to everyone here as well, to give a very quick one, right? If you are confident that you don't need the career scholarship and you can apply direct through HR, then apply. And we can try. But if you know for yourself that you need the help, then you should go the career scholarship route because that will give you the extra help to go through the process more easily. Yeah, I hope it answers your question. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to take 2 more hands and then I got to move to the next step because you're already at 9:42. Lovely, go ahead. Lovely Bondok, please press unmute.
Bugbugin ka andyan.
It's
there!
Lovely, I cannot hear you. Yes, I can't hear. It's breaking up. Lovely, I cannot hear your voice is breaking up. Yeah, can you try to say it again? Yeah, what's your question?
Bugbugin ka.
What's your...
Dapat ay.
Okay, lovely. Okay, lovely. It's very hard to hear what you're saying. Can you type your question in the chat? So, lovely, can you type the question so I can read it more easily? Because it's very hard to hear you, yeah? Can you type the question? Maybe you type it and then I try to read the question. Yeah, lovely, thank you. Okay, so I'll wait for you to type, but before that I go to Novi. Novi, go ahead. Novi May, please unmute. Yes,
Hi, sir. This one, if ever we can pass the first application, do we still have second chance?
That's a very good question, yeah. If you come for your first interview, you do your best and you fail, don't worry. We will advise you how to improve and then we will give you a second chance maybe 1 month later or 2 months later. So yes, you still get a second chance, but you have to do your best at the first interview. Yeah, Novi? Thank you. Thank you. So try your best. Let me mute you, lower your hand. Good question. Okay, I'm going to take one more question. After that, I got to go to the next step, yeah, because we're running late. Yes, Viola, please unmute yourself.
Oh yeah, I just want to ask you about the fee. Like, how many total the fee that we need?
Okay, so Fiona, that's a very good question, right? And I'm sure all of you know how a scholarship works, right? Scholarship works by we pay a percentage of the total cost for you, right? And so how it works is for hotel training, we pay almost 100%, so you don't have to pay. Because if you were to get hotel experience yourselves, I'm sure all of you know, very expensive, right? If you ask the Grand Hyatt to train you, they are charging you $1,000 a month if they accept you. They may not even accept you, right? But if it's under scholarship, you don't have to pay. It's included. Yeah, for the study, and I'm sure all of you know, if you wanted to do an international diploma, right, it could cost you something like $13,000 per year. Yeah, by yourself. Under scholarship, you don't have to pay that. You normally pay maybe a couple $100 a month, that's all. But again, it depends on the scholarship and whether the scholarship is approved. And so normally, Viola, to answer your question, right, it is really subject to your interview, whether you pass the interview and whether you qualify for that scholarship. If you qualify for the scholarship, then you pay much less based on your salary. Make sense, Viola? So I hope that answers your question. And I hope that answers the question for the rest as well. It's really subject to your salary and whether you pass. If you pass, then very easy. It's normally within your salary or less, right? You don't have to pay all that, But if you don't pass, we won't even consider you. Then you don't even need to pay anything, right? And so don't worry too much. Most important is to do your best at the interview, try your best to clear the process, yeah? So thank you, Viola. I hope that answers your question. Okay, now I'm going to move to the next step. Give me 1 minute while I share my screen to get to the next step.
But the cherry blossom one, I put a little bit.
That's why it tastes like
But only a little bit.
Okay, can everybody see my screen? If you can see my screen,
yes.
This is the calendar of interviews coming up. So as I said earlier, right, you will need to come for a face-to-face interview for us to consider your application so that we know whether you are serious, whether you're motivated, and whether you are someone who we feel fits what we want in our team. And so if you're in Singapore, we have interviews on Saturday and Sunday, 30th August and 31st August. If you are in Hong Kong, we have interviews on the 6th and 7th of September, the following weekend. If you're in Indonesia, we have interviews in the various cities. Most of you here belong to Asia Group 1. So if you're in Korea or Japan, we have interviews in the main city for this coming September, including Taiwan, Malaysia, Dubai, and Abu Dhabi. So depending on where you are, please check the dates and go to the correct city. You do not need to fly to another country for interview, yeah? So please do your interview based where you are. So if you're in Hong Kong, you do it in Hong Kong. If you happen to be in Europe, then you do it in Europe because we have another set of dates, yeah? So if you do not see your city here in the calendar, let us know on the WhatsApp so that we can send you a different calendar. Because we actually have different calendar depending on where you're from, yeah? Now I'm going to stop the screen share for a minute. And now, let me give everyone a bit of advice about interviews, right? Number one, interviews are normally done at director level because one of us needs to come down and approve whether you are, whether you meet our requirements, right? And our schedules are very busy. We have very tight schedules. So it's important that when we schedule your interview, we will send you an interview invite probably tomorrow. Okay. Now, once you receive the invite, make sure that you reply when you're free. That's number one. And number two, once you set the appointment, make sure to go down. And the reason why I say this is simple, right? Most of you are aware that it's already very difficult to get a chance to go down and get a chance to interview, to have an opportunity to get a career scholarship and also to work in a hotel, right? Not easy. And so if you get the chance to come down, make sure to go down when you set your appointment. If let's say you set the appointment and you don't go down, right? This is something I must explain to everybody. You will not get a second chance. Yeah, you will not, unless you have a valid reason, like you have a medical certificate or you got knocked by a car or something, But if not, we would normally not re-invite you. And the reason is very simple, right? We are looking for high level of motivation and discipline. And so if you agree to an appointment and you don't come down, you are sending the message to the hotel that you lack motivation and not discipline. Make sense to everybody? And so this is something I need to highlight because last time people don't realize it. And they don't want to come this Sunday, they come next Sunday, or they come on a Monday, or they change the appointment last minute. You do that, it will be treated as part of your interview, which means that you're not motivated, or you lack discipline, or you're not interested. And if you try to apply again, you will not be considered. Because do take note, you are not applying for regular study, right? You are applying for career scholarship. You are applying to upgrade your career. You want to get a chance to get the career scholarship, to get work experience at a 5-star hotel. That means you need to prove you deserve it, right? And in order to prove you deserve it, you got to take the process seriously. So do take note that we are assessing the whole process. Now, some of you may not realize this, but let me tell all of you as well. All of you have sent us a WhatsApp, right? The WhatsApp is connected to our management computer across 50 cities. So it is not a personal WhatsApp. So if you are wondering, the WhatsApp is in our computer. There are almost 50 managers looking at it. And so if you reply politely, we know that, okay, you're a polite candidate. If you reply professionally, we know you're professional. If you reply in a negative way or you reply in a bad way, it's also in the system. Because some of you may think you're replying to your friend or this is a private WhatsApp. It is not. If you see it as a blue tick, it is connected directly to the government registered institute. Make sense to everybody? So please take note that the WhatsApp is connected directly to the entire organization system. Yeah. And so obviously you want to manage it well, right? Because whatever is there will be there for life. That's the other thing to tell you. Now, do take note, everybody who's applying, we will create a career portfolio for you. That means we will put all your career details, your resume, your certificates, everything. And then we will send it across all our hotels. And that is a benefit for you. Because at least they know who you are and it gives you a chance and opportunity to hopefully prove that you deserve it, to go down and get experience and maybe work there, right? But if you really want that, you have to prove that you deserve it. Yeah? So take note that if ever in any of those steps you feel that, hey, you're not responsible or you're not disciplined or you're rude, your application will be cancelled immediately. Everyone clear?
Yes, sir.
This one I need to highlight because sometimes you all don't realize. So I must highlight so that at least everyone knows that, it is being monitored. Yeah? Because we want to be fair to everybody so that you know that you are being assessed throughout the process. So I'm going to now show all of you a sample of the diploma. Give me a minute. Okay. Can everybody see my screen? If you can see my screen, just tell me to put your thumb up. Thank you. Now, this is a government system. So as you can see, some of the universities here, for example, we have the National University of Singapore. We have Singapore Management University. Okay, we have SkillsFuture Singapore, GovTech. Now, this system is to view, check, and verify that it is an international recognized program. This comes under the GovTech Singapore, Government Digital Services. Now, how does it work? All the governments are connected through an international system. And the reason is so that when you go to a relevant government application, they don't have to ask privately. They can just check in the government system, government to government, and they can confirm that you have the relevant international qualification. Make sense? Now, if your scholarship is approved, your details will be in here for life. And let me show you a sample. So I can now scan, one of our current students has already completed, for example. Give me a minute. There. So as you can see, it shows verifying. If it is in the system, it will show issued by edu.sg, not tempered, not revoked. You will see the relevant qualification with your name, your details, international with the stamping, and it will be under the Government Digital Services, GovTech Singapore, for life. So even if you're applying to Canada, they can recognize this in the system. Yeah, in fact, as I said, right, we have applicants across many cities. Yeah, so if you're wondering, government registered applications, they don't use private system. They use government system, right? That's why some of you may know that you have a certificate but not recognized because it's not in the government system. Yeah, so if you qualify, your details will be in the system for life. That means you can apply anywhere, you'll be there. But because it's in a system like that, we have very strict process, which is why we have to do this briefing, and which is why I'm advising all of you to take the process seriously, right? Because you do not want to end up looking bad on your WhatsApp, or you do not want the hotel to think that you're not disciplined or that you're not motivated. So all these are important to let you know in advance so that you can manage the entire process well. And I hope that many of you get a chance, and the opportunity to hopefully jump over and join us in some of our teams or in departments. And who knows, maybe some of you will get a chance to rise very high and join my department. Yeah, for those who are wondering, my department handles director level and above. Yeah, so anybody who's a director level and above is in my department. Yeah, so hopefully one day, who knows, some of you work really hard and you climb very high up, and that will be where you are. Yeah, but if not, you can at least get a chance to become a manager. Yeah, everyone clear? So now some quick advice. After this, I strongly suggest that those of you who are really interested to get a chance to try, put all your details together. You can send it to us via the WhatsApp. The earlier you send it, the earlier I can send it out for you to check everything. And then tomorrow, we will be sending each of you an invite for interview. Again, interviews are in person. Yeah. And of course, you can advise us if you have a specific time, we will try to assist. So anything, communicate with us professionally so we can try to see how we can arrange. Yeah. Now, I'm going to hand over to Mr. Haris, and he's going to confirm that your name and your current country that you're at is in the WhatsApp, because we will only invite you for the interview if your name is in our WhatsApp. So if you did not send your name to our WhatsApp, you will not receive an invitation. This is compulsory because it's like an attendance. Yeah, we only invite those who made the effort to come for briefing. So those who didn't come, they don't get invited. So those of you who came, thank you for coming. I know you make effort to come even though you're working. So I think now what you need to do is send your name so that we know you came. And then we give you a chance to send you your interview invite tomorrow. Yeah. So Ms. Taris can take over. Thank you. And for the rest, thank you for.
Thank you, Mr. James. Okay, so I'm going to verify. Before I do that, please wait for a while. Now, for those who came in but did not send the name yet, right? So please send it now because already, yeah. So no need. If you already sent, no need to send again. Okay, unless I'm asking you, yeah. All right. So I received from Aiza, Brenda, Carmela, Shelan Rivera, Connie, Daryl, Melanie, Irish Medina, Jasmine Bassi, Jesseline Dizon, Jonah Mariano, Jonah Liza, Linsley Ali Ganga, Lovely Bondok, Max Langa, Maria Chona, Mary Grace Lego, me, Chrysostomo, Nana, Nung Sian Mingtel, Novi Me Kalipdan, Rochelle Obispo, Rhea Rain Rosalind, Rhea Francisco, Rochelle Buendia, Rovi Tunggala, Salim, Saraswati Limbu, Tin Mio T, Will Joy Manai. So can I check who's here? I'm not say your name yet. Please put in the chat here or unmute. Please tell me anybody here. I did not say your name.
My Josephine, sir. My name.
Okay, Josephine, have you sent your name to our WhatsApp yet?
I think yes, sir. But I'm not.
Josephine, I did not receive. Can you send it now? Your full name and your current work city, Josephine. You have to send it now, yeah?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, sir.
Follow the message here. We said that you have to send to our WhatsApp. The WhatsApp link is there. Anybody else? I did not say your name. Please let me know. Anybody else? You can unmute or you can type in the chat if I did not say your name. Fiona Mustafa, I received your name. Thank you, Fiona Mustafa. Okay, anybody else?
Send it already, sir.
Okay, Josephine, I received. Thank you so much. All right, anybody else? I did not call your name. Please unmute or tell me in the chat now. Leslie Pigot Silut, yeah? You are from Hong Kong, yeah? Please, I received your name. Anybody else? I did not say your name. Please tell me now before we stop our Zoom session. Anybody else? No more? Everybody, I received your name. Yes, I'm just going to call the name one last time to verify, yeah? Aiza Avila, Brenda Mi, Carmela Agustin, Chelan Rivera, Connie Torcato, Daryl Jane, Emelini, Irish, Jasmine, Jesselyn, Jonah Lisa, Linsley, Lovely, Max Langga, Maria Chona, Mary Grace, Mi Crisostomo, Nana, Ngun Siang Mential, Novi Me Kalipdan, Richelle Obispo, Ria Ren Rosaline, Ria Francisco, Rochelle, Rovi, Salim, Saraswati, Tin Mioti, Will Joy, Fiona Mustafa, Lesil Pitogo, Josephine. Anybody else? No more, yeah?
No more.
Okay. Thank you so much, everyone. That's all for our Zoom briefing today. So if you already send your name with your city, means that we will send you the invitation for your interview. All right, so I'm going to close the room now. All right, so thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. See you.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, bye-bye. You can leave the room now.